You and I were on Amin's YouTube channel last night, and he asked us who the biggest threat to the 49ers is in the NFC West, and we had different answers. I said the Arizona Cardinals, which made you kind of drop your jaw for a second, because the Cardinals kind of stink, or they have the past few years. So would you like me to make a case real quick?
Yes,
okay.
I would.
Okay. The way I see them is they have an excellent roster. I don't know about their coach. They were about a 500 team last year, and they've improved their roster. The roster is so good because they have this Kyler Murray, the number one pick in the draft, who's on this rookie wage scale. He's pretty cheap. He's in the third year of his career, and they've spent the money on everywhere else on the team. And they have JJ Watt, AJ Green. They have a bunch of players that are really good. If Kyler Murray takes a step like young quarterbacks usually do from year 2 to year 3, I think the Cardinals have the best roster in the division, because they're not spending $27 million on a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, or, the Rams, who are still spending $24 million on Jared Goff. But I guess it really does depend on this coach, who I have very little confidence in.
Why do you have very little confidence?
Okay, so he runs a college-style offense. It's called the air raid offense, and it's been very successful in college. The guy who's famous for it is currently the head coach at Washington State, and his name, Mike Leach. He's probably a little younger than you. He's been doing it in college for a very long time. He's very creative. I get the feeling that this guy is just a younger knockoff version of Mike Leach. And if they wanted to get a good air raid offense, and they just hired the guy from Washington State. Instead, they hired the guy from Texas Tech, who never had a winning season at Texas Tech, even though he coached Patrick Mahomes. He couldn't win in college with Patrick Mahomes. So he has a real track record of underperforming and being kind of weak. So that's a problem.
Okay, well, I see two problems with that.
Yes.
Thing. So I had said, I think the biggest competitor with the Niners in the NFC West is Seattle, because the Niners always beat the Rams. They always seem to be able to beat the Rams. And I was surprised when you said Arizona. So the coach, for starters. But here's the thing. You're making assumptions that the quarterback will make a big leap from season 2 to season 3. When I look at him, he's very little.
He's very little. Yes.
He has trouble throwing over the line. He has to run away to actually. Now, Russell Wilson does too, but this kid isn't Russell Wilson.
No.
Not yet. And also something you pointed out, in videos last season, he's a one-read guy.
Yes.
Am I misstating that?
No, he often misses wide, doesn't see open receivers. He often.
Yeah. So let me say, I feel the burden of proof is on him. I mean, the quarterback's the most important position. I'm not sold on him, and I think he's going to lose them some games. I'm not sold on him just the way I'm not sold on the Baltimore quarterback.
Okay, the difference between the Baltimore quarterback and Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray was a top 10 pick in baseball too. He could have been an MLB outfielder. He has an amazingly strong arm, and Lamar Jackson has a functional arm. Yeah. I really think Kyler Murray, even though he's not like a refined quarterback and he's short, he might be the most athletic quarterback in the NFL. You can't catch him. He just runs in circles, and Nick Bosa falls on the ground, and you just can't catch him. And then he could throw 80 yards. He finally got rid of Larry Fitzgerald, who's old and slow, replaced him with AJ Green, who's kind of old too. I don't know. I think this team is going to be surprising. I feel like they underperformed last year. And what people don't realize about them is their defense is actually very, 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 very talented. They have J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Budda Baker, who's the best safety in the NFL, 2 first-round picks at inside linebacker. They actually have a very good roster. I don't know if the coach knows what to do with it.
Okay, here's what I think. Yeah. I think in the future there's a bet there. I think when the season starts, of course I'll forget because I'm old. It's a good bet. But when the season starts, we'll define that into some sort of a bet about Arizona. Does that seem fair?
Absolutely. That's how you and I settle our disagreements. Instead of arguing it over, let's just put a bottle of wine on it. End of story.
I think so.
It's more civil.
Yeah. And by the way, we're going out to dinner together on Thursday night.
We absolutely are. With the great Everett Days, who I'm sure anyone who follows us on Twitter knows who he is. So Everett, if you're watching, can't wait.